Nvidia's return has been insane. A 32,000% return over the last 10 years? This is monstrous, and it's all due to artificial intelligence. Nvidia creates the chips which power ChatGPT, Gemini, and any other artificial intelligence you might use. I know what you're thinking. It's too late to get on this train, or that it's just hype and the stock can't go any higher. Trust me, we are only beginning. Nvidia is going to be a $40 trillion market cap company, and artificial intelligence will take over the world. Artificial intelligence will take over. Artificial intelligence is quickly destroying industries. It's cheaper to generate an image than it is to get an artist. Artificial intelligence is able to generate 7-second clips of video, and it is harder and harder to tell if it is real or fake. The videos you watch on YouTube will eventually be mostly AI. The movie industry has been fighting against this drastic change, but they are losing, just like we will all lose to artificial intelligence. Meanwhile, sovereign nations have taken an interest in artificial intelligence as well. Nvidia just had their Q2 earnings call, and they project sovereign nations will spend $20 billion this year on artificial intelligence. Sovereign nations view this as vital for securing their nation's future. Nvidia has already had an insane annualized revenue growth rate before artificial intelligence. Between the mean and the median, it was about 10 to 12%. Now that the company has customers with pockets as deep as sovereign nations, things have changed. While the growth rate may not stay at its current 66%, it will definitely be higher than Nvidia's 10 to 12% run rate. Nvidia's CEO said he expects the annual spend on artificial intelligence to be $4 trillion in 5 years. This is a massive annual revenue pool to pick up each year, and Nvidia will be at the center of it. You can't afford to not invest in Nvidia. As artificial intelligence continues to take over jobs, you need to invest and own stock in the company that will replace you. Own your replacement. Stellar Financials. The best way to analyze Nvidia is to notice that the company was a good company before artificial intelligence. This is why I'm going to analyze the company prior to 2019. We've already analyzed revenue previously ending in 2019. We saw that Nvidia's revenue growth was between 10 and 12% between the median and the mean. It gets better though. Here is the net income for that same time period. Between the median and the mean, we are getting between 22 and 24% growth. The profit margins are insane too. They start at about 37% in 2005, and they go all the way up to 60% in 2019. This is amazing prior to artificial intelligence, but let's see how artificial intelligence changes the numbers. We have already seen revenue and seen how Nvidia is growing revenue at a 66% annualized growth rate over the last 5 years, and the mean and median is between 17% and 19%. But the net income growth is even more crazy. This is now at a 90% annualized growth rate over the last 5 years. The mean and median is now between 26 and 32%. Gross profit margins never stopped growing either. Now we see a high of 75%, but we are currently at 70%. This is crazy. Risks and concerns. There are few ways Nvidia can fail. Nvidia is a company with a wide moat. Nvidia doesn't just produce chips, they produce the full infrastructure you need to run an artificial intelligence data center. This includes the software. The main concern we are worried about is China attacking Taiwan and destroying TSMC. TSMC is the company that produces the chips for Nvidia. Even if this were to happen, Nvidia can produce chips at Samsung in South Korea or at Intel in America. These chips will not be as fast as they were with TSMC, as TSMC is about 2 to 4 years ahead, but it will not destroy Nvidia as every company will take the same hit equally. Even Intel produces their chips at TSMC. If TSMC were to disappear, Intel and Samsung would be where Nvidia produces the chips next. Competitors are currently not even close to Nvidia. The main issue is matching Nvidia's vertical integration. Nvidia also now is spending $60 billion a year, which is hard to compete with. AMD is the second closest competitor, and they're not even close to Nvidia in any way. No matter the news articles you hear, AMD does not actually sell data center chips. You will see announcements, but you will not see this translate into data center revenue for AMD. Financial forecast. For Nvidia, I am projecting a minimum of 20% EPS growth over the next 5 years. The current forward PE is 35.3. After 5 years of a 20% annualized growth rate, earnings would grow 2.5 times. This would lower the forward PE to 14.19. The growth would then be our projected forward PE divided by 14.19. I am projecting the forward PE to decline to 27. Even with this decline, the projected forward return is 90%. This is compared to a projected forward return of the S&P over the next 5 years of 76%, which assumes a 12% annualized growth rate. However, if Nvidia was to surpass these expectations, and Nvidia constantly does this, and let's say that they do a 25% EPS growth rate and a 32 projected forward PE, well, now we have a 177% return over the next 5 years, which is 100% more than the S&P. Don't get me wrong, the S&P's return of 76% is admirable, and if you don't believe my numbers and you think Nvidia is too risky, you should take the basic S&P return. However, I think I will be going with Nvidia, as Nvidia has continued to knock it out of the park, and they are one of the most impressive companies I have ever witnessed. I have followed Nvidia for almost 20 years now, and I can't think of a more impressive company. Conclusion. Nvidia will hit a $40 trillion market cap faster than anyone thinks and surprise the world. The company has too much going for it currently. Normally, we see growth like this and assume it's a bubble. This is not the case for Nvidia, and the product is being used everywhere and is only getting better. Artificial intelligence will only get better from here. Previous innovations only touched one aspect of our lives or the economy, but Nvidia and artificial intelligence will touch every aspect of our lives. I'm honestly not thrilled about it. I'm more scared than anything. But investing in Nvidia is the only way to protect ourselves against our replacement.